Senator.
Thank you for being with us, Mr. Wheeler. Mr. Wheeler, President Trump has indicated his belief that climate change is a hoax, perhaps perpetrated by the Chinese. Do you agree?
Well, I believe that climate change is real. I believe that man has an impact on it. And
the President has said that climate change is a hoax. Do you agree with him?
I've not used the hoax word myself.
I see. Leading scientists around the world, looking at many, many hundreds of reports, have indicated that we have 12 years in order to stop the worst impacts of climate change. And what they are talking about are rising sea levels, more drought, more extreme weather disturbances, more wildfires, more migrations of people. Do you agree with the scientific community that climate change is a global crisis that must be addressed in an aggressive way?
I believe that climate change is a global issue that must be addressed globally. No one country can...
That wasn't my question, sir. I don't have a lot of time, and I'd appreciate if you're answering the questions. Scientific community has said that climate change is one of the great crises facing our planet. And if there is not unprecedented action to transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to sustainable energy and energy efficiency, there will be irreparable damage in the United States and in virtually every country on Earth. Do you agree with the scientific community?
I would not call it the greatest crisis, no, sir. I consider it a huge issue that has to be addressed globally.
Well, what you are, I found it interesting, Mr. Wheeler. You are the nominee to be head of the Environmental Protection Agency. You just, in your opening statement, did not mention the word climate change. Now, how does it happen that the nominee to be head of the Environmental Protection Agency does not mention the words climate change at a time when the scientific community thinks that climate change is the great environmental crisis facing this planet? Should the American people have confidence that you're going to help us deal with this global crisis?
Yes, they should have confidence because we are moving forward to reduce CO2. Our ACE proposal will reduce CO2 approximately the same levels that the Clean Power Plan would have if it had been implemented. And we're reducing CO2 from our CAFE standards, and we're also addressing greenhouse gases through our methane program as well.
You're addressing.
Yes.
But the scientific community tells us that we have a crisis and that we need unprecedented action to dramatically reduce carbon emissions, not only in this country, but around the world. Now, we are the strongest economy in the world. And if the leadership of the Environmental Protection Agency in the United States says to China and to Russia and to India and to countries all over the world that we have got to move aggressively to protect this planet for our children and our grandchildren, we can have some impact on the entire international community. Are you prepared to do that?
We are implementing the laws that Congress has passed.
But you are the leader. We need you to come here.
We will implement those.
Well, that's not what I'm talking about. We have people over here who do not believe that climate change is even real. But you are the nominee for the leadership of the Environmental Protection Agency. Will you provide the leadership in this country and the world to say that we are concerned about the future of this planet for our kids and our grandchildren?
We are concerned about the future of this planet for our children and our grandchildren, and we are implementing the laws that have been passed by Congress, including the Clean Air Act, and that's why we're moving forward with the ACE proposal to reduce CO2 from the electric power generating sector. We're moving forward with the Safe Cafe proposal to reduce CO2 levels from...
Mr. Wheeler, is rising sea levels a concern, or is that a hoax?
Rising sea levels is a concern, and we believe in adaptation, and we are looking at a number of things.
I'm sorry, adaptation?
Adaptation to help on rising sea levels, unless absent additional congressional authority.
But you are, here's the point. We have people here who don't believe in climate change, but you are going to be the leader, perhaps, of the environmental protection. We need your assistance now. Is rising sea levels real, and what are we going to do to minimize that? What are we going to do? Are the wildfires that we have seen in California and elsewhere, are those related to climate change in your judgment?
There's probably some relation to climate change. I think the biggest issue with the wildfires has been forest management.
That's the biggest issue, not,
That is the biggest.
not the droughts that we are seeing,
That is the biggest issue,
not the droughts.
in my opinion, yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.